and they say happy wife, happy life.
When we got married, I had like $1,000 in my bank account.
There's a couple things as to why we got married so young. Babe, you're literally, this is called Haley's Corner, and you literally just took my entire corner.
Well, sharing is caring. That's why when you get married, you have to share.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Haley and welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm officially debuting my hubby. Well,
I was here before.
He was here before.
Basically, last time I was here, I was kind of a little bit too extra. Like, it was my first time on camera, and then I was a little bit too like...
So today we kind of just wanted to talk to you guys more about our relationship because especially recently I've been getting so many new subscribers, and welcome all of you guys. I'm so happy that you're here on my channel. I've been getting so many different requests to introduce him into my channel more because honestly he is probably the biggest part of my life. So I definitely want Aaron to be a part of Haley's Corner a little bit more. So we were talking before how we had like a lot of misconceptions about getting married young. A lot of people always questioned us saying, why are you guys getting married so young? Why are you doing this to yourself? Why are you tying yourself down? Don't you want to go out and explore more things? Like so many people always came up to us and said that stuff. And first of all, I thought it was rude because like you don't come up to people who are like happily engaged, about to get married and be like, why are you getting married?
Why are you doing this to yourself? You're gonna regret it.
But I like it. If anything,
divorce rate in the world.
Oh, so many people said, oh, you know the divorce rate is like over 50%. And if anything, I just like that we could prove people wrong because I've honestly never been happier ever since deciding to get married. And I think the fact that we got married young has been such a big factor in our relationship, like kind of like flowing the way it is, you know? So misconception number one people have about getting married is the fact that everybody tells us like, why do you want to settle down? And I just wanted to tell you guys, settling down when you get married is like, at least in our case, was the total opposite of what actually ended up happening. I feel like when you get married, especially when you get married young to the person that like obviously you love and motivates you, settling down is completely not what happens. If anything, you settle up. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because the thing is that we got married, and we'll tell you guys now, like a lot of people, and again, whatever we say, it doesn't mean that everybody has to do it. We're just giving
it's just our experience and like what
our
we know
opinions,
through
and
it,
what
you know?
we dealt with. And when we got married, we honestly had like, I wouldn't say nothing, but like I had like $1,000 in my bank account.
And that's it.
And like that's it. And then like on top of that, she's still in university. I was just starting out, like I was doing personal training and everything, but I was just starting out.
Nothing was really like going for us, and pretty much if you look at like the financial aspect of things, it made no sense for us to get married. No, you know, like
not at all.
What 21-year-olds like still in school would want to get married when like they can't afford like living on their own? Like even now, I don't even think everybody knows this, but we actually live with my parents. We don't live on our own, and that was one of the sacrifices. I don't want to say sacrifice. I love my parents, and so does he. But like one of the sacrifices as a married couple that we had to make was that if we were gonna get married young, we knew that we either need help, either from the parents' side, but we kind of had too much pride to like get our parents to pay for our apartment.
Yeah, it wasn't even that. The thing is that we felt that marriage was, I guess, our responsibility.
Yeah.
If we were old enough
like
to take
we
it,
needed to become independent.
Yeah, we couldn't be like to our parents, like, yeah, pay for our monthly, like every month for our like rent and stuff like that. Like if we were old enough to make the decision to get married, and we're old enough to take the responsibilities that comes with it. So we decided that it would be easier on us if we lived with their parents. And honestly, it hasn't been bad at all. Because the thing is, you have to also realize that she's still in university. She has, at the time when we got married, she had like a year left. And I was just starting out, but the whole misconception that people say that you settled down, if anything, we're not settled at all. We're always on the go, and like right now, like my business is being started. I'm working.
He is he's actually a personal trainer, and when he just started, he had like one client. People all told him, oh, go into something else. Like, what if you don't succeed in this? And I feel like I kind of always had his back, and I always told him like, you got this, babe. I know you. I know that you have the aspirations and you have the knowledge and you have the skills in order to be such a successful personal trainer. But that's how it has to be. People always think that like when you get married, it's kind of like you're forcing yourself down to whatever career you don't want to, like you're like always gonna do what you don't want to do. You're just gonna do.
If you get married, you have to like already have like a job and enough money and like that car and the house and everything. But again, the whole point is that we got married and we brought out each other's strengths and, you know, covered each other's weaknesses.
I feel like there's a couple things as to why we got married so young. I feel like one of the things, like I told you guys, in our religion, we're actually not supposed to live together before we get married. It's pretty frowned upon. But aside from that, I really respect that tradition because I do feel it's amazing to know that when you're marrying somebody, you're marrying them 100% because you really want to be with each other. There's no like, sex is not a factor. None of that is like any much of a factor for it. When we got married, we 100% knew that we were marrying the person for the person and not because of like anything else. I don't really know how to explain.
Yeah, like
we just had a lot of clarity.
The way we look at it is like I guess our philosophy or how we look at out of like other relationships is that the whole job for us as a couple is I'm supposed to bring out the best version of her and she's supposed to bring out the best version of me. Yeah. That's our duty in the relationship, right? I'm doing whatever I can in my, I guess, power, my ability to make her happy and for her to become the best that she can be, right? And to support her in any aspects that she wants to do. And in the end of the day, we both have to be 100% within ourselves. Like, if we're together to fill up a void that, you know, like of us either being lonely or I feel like I'm lost.
Like so many people are in relationships with people because they just don't want to be alone.
They don't want to be alone.
And they don't know how to be alone.
Or they want to have someone to go on dates with, or they just
someone to treat them nice.
They feel like they're lost, so they rely on a relationship to help them fill up that void, and that's not what it should be. You both should be 100%, and once you guys are happy with yourself and 100% within yourselves, then and only then will you be able to be
Which is what I really love. Like, if you guys haven't already seen like the whole story of how we met, I'm gonna link that down below. I feel like we really both needed to like love ourselves and appreciate ourselves in order to be able to do that for the other person. It's crazy when people always say you have to love yourself before you can let anybody love you. I feel like it's so important because
very true.
You can't just have someone there filling up a void for you, because if you don't see anything about yourself to love, how can you expect somebody else to? So I feel like once we kind of matured and we grew up. That's like the fob in me, you know? And I feel like once we matured and we grew up, we are able to kind of appreciate the qualities that he has, the qualities that I have, and how they can work together. And a lot of people don't recognize how marriage is something that unifies that, but it really, really does. Like, when you're in a relationship, you look at this person, you're like, okay, yeah, they're my boyfriend. Your future is never guaranteed. It's never guaranteed in a marriage anyway. People still get divorced, people still separate. Yeah. But I feel like when you're married, you just have a completely different outlook on that person. Yeah. You're just like looking at them, and every decision you make, you think about how it affects them and how it affects you. You never think about every decision you make, it's not just about you anymore, it's about you guys together. How it's gonna affect your future, how it's gonna better your future. And I feel like that's the main reason why getting married is the total polar opposite of settling down, because if anything, it's like two people who are ready to like take life in their hands and turn it into, take on the world and turn it into something beautiful. And the fact that you have two people that are like pushing each other up to do it, that is like incredible. And I feel like that's a big thing that marriage brought, especially when you're young. Yeah. And I mean, I'm almost done school. I'm still very clueless on like where I'm gonna be exactly next year, but I know that I have a #1 supporter who's just gonna push me to like get whatever I want done, and that's it, you know?
Guys, listen. We might be portrayed as like the perfect couple, and like, you know, that we never get into fights, we never have arguments or everything, but no couple is perfect. We obviously have our fights.
It's healthy. We never fight.
No, we don't fight. Like, I don't beat her up. No. Sometimes I do, like, you know, like.
He likes to wrestle me all the time.
I like to wrestle. I like to, like, you know.
But listen, every relationship has like its tensions, and that's what I like calling it, tension, because me and him are both peacekeepers. We're not people that like to fight. We're not people that like to argue. We're not just gonna like say sorry to every single thing, like if we don't truly feel like we're sorry. It's just more of the fact that like every decision I make in the future, I always think about how it's gonna affect him. And I'm the kind of person that if he has like negativity or if he's feeling bad about something, it really reflects upon me. So me making him feel good, I guess, is kind of a selfish thing, because then it makes me feel good. Oh, and that's something else I really wanted to bring up that I feel like we learned so much getting married, is that space is so key. And people think that when you're married, you have to be like up each other's butt all the time.
24/7.
But it's so not true.
Talking all the time.
I mean, every couple is different, but when you guys look at us, we really love being together. We enjoy it so much. Like, we love spending nights in, chilling, talking, watching Netflix, getting food. Food is like our favorite thing ever. It like brings us together so much more. But going off of that, we both also realize that when you're married, you see somebody so much that you still need to respect each other's personal space. You know, you go do your thing now, babe, and I'm gonna have like my free time later. Like, sometimes when he's training with clients, he's like, hey babe, like I'm not using the car for like a couple of hours, like take it to the mall, just don't even, like, even if I don't buy anything, he's like, take it to the mall, go walk around, go to the gym by yourself, have some stress relievers. And it's the same with him. Like, I always tell him, like, go to the gym, get your workout in, you know, like.
It just gives us a chance to miss each other, because if you're always together and you're always like trying to do stuff together, you never have time on your own. Like you kind of like, again, like no matter how much you love somebody or some like, or
at some point, like people could start getting
you get annoyed, you get sick, so you need to take a chance to breathe, really like be with your own thoughts and like have your YouTube. Like there's a lot of times like after like a long day of work, you know, like I come and then she's doing her thing and like we don't need to like right away like,
oh my god,
hey, hug, hey, talk for like hours, whatever. Like no, like something like, hey babe, how's your day? We talk, and then like I'll go downstairs, I'll get my phone, I'll make myself some food, and I'll sit like
he'll sit in the
corner and I'll watch like my Netflix on my phone, like I'll set up on top of something, I'll watch it by myself.
Yeah.
We could have easily done it together, you know, have dinner together, and we do, but there are just some times where like I just want to be by myself and my thoughts, and I'll come back up
and that's what I love about our marriage, is that you really need to respect that, and you don't have to be like, oh, he doesn't want to spend time with me, like he doesn't love me. Like real communication is when you guys let yourself do the things that you love. So sometimes I know that he needs his alone time, like watching his YouTube videos. I like my alone time when I'm editing. I like to put my headphones in. Yeah, that's another thing.
Really enjoy like those small ones, because I guarantee you once we have kids,
oh, that's gonna be,
wow,
that's gonna be different.
That's definitely not settling down. That's like a whoa, another whole, that's a new level. But again, it's a new experience, and it's something that we're going to take on together. The fact that we're a little bit younger, like be having like one after another, if anything, again, we don't know, it's all from God by in the end of the day, but we want to have, when we have kids, because we're younger, we'll be able to keep up with them.
That's the thing, a lot of people don't realize, like when you start your marriage early, I mean, listen, not everybody wants to have kids when they're married. I can't speak for everybody, but that is definitely in our plans, and pretty soon, hopefully. But I'm just saying, I know that when you start your marriage early, you kind of start everything early. So when you guys start having kids early, that's the most beautiful part. Like you can keep up with your kids, you know? And I know that women bounce back after pregnancy a lot faster also when they're young.
At the end of the day, like we're just discussing our experiences.
These are all just questions that you guys have asked me through DM and down here on YouTube. And I just kind of wanted to like regard them in more of a conversation rather than like a question answer kind of thing. I feel like it's more personal that way, and there's so much more that we can talk about. I don't even know if people care, but honestly, if you guys do like these like chatty videos and you want us to do more of like these chilling, answering questions kind of stuff, give this video a thumbs up. If you guys do want to see more of him, give it a thumbs up as well. Yo, you like perfected that, I'm not even kidding. And if you guys do have any more questions for us, you can ask them down below, or message me. I'm gonna cover your face right now with my Instagram. Message me on Instagram and just ask me whatever questions you guys have, whether it's on like relationship advice or anything. I don't even know if we're like good to give advice, but I feel like we've learned a lot in our relationship, and I feel like we could share a lot of things that we've gone through, and we have
not even that. You know, we're here for you guys. All we really care about is, you know, helping others and motivating them to become also the best version of you guys. And the whole point of what I love about Haley's channel is that she just provides a lot of content, a lot of things that really help her viewers, and they're also wondering like how to be in a relationship, or like
I guess like a lot of things on my channel are like things that people my age, I guess, are going through. So I feel like this is pretty much a big next step for a lot of people in their 20s mainly. I'm not going to generalize for everybody, but if this is something you're going through, if you guys are going through like different relationships and you kind of want to see where to take it next, and you're worried about that, and you're scared that you don't know how your marriage will be, here we are.
Marriage, relationship,
anything. Dating,
if you're like, you're afraid to date because you're afraid like, and again, just because we're young doesn't mean you need to get married at this age. No, we're not saying that, like if you're, let's say if you're like still looking and you haven't found the right person, and that's okay, again, in everybody's time, but you will meet the right person. But for now, keep doing you. Keep, you know, becoming a better version of yourself. Find out new hobbies.
Prepare yourself for your partner. Make yourself the best version of yourself you can be, so that when you do meet Mr. Right or Mrs. Right, you guys can just hit it off, because you're going to be such a great human being. And I guess one of the best advice that I've gotten, God wouldn't put you in the situation that He knew you couldn't handle. So just believe in yourself. That's definitely what we believe, is that every situation you're in means you can handle it. If you haven't found the right person for you yet and you're really struggling, it just means that either they're not ready for you or you're not ready for them. So you just have to keep that in mind. And I just feel like literally life is such a big personal development, and it's so great though when you find that person that you can share with and you can develop yourself further, because I've changed so much for the better ever since getting married. and I think you could say the same.
Yeah, me too.
So that's it, guys. That's like our huge rant. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. There's actually a lot more questions and stuff that people have asked, but I don't know which to prioritize because there's just so much. But if you guys do have something you're really interested in, comment it down below or message me on Instagram, and I would love to get back to you guys and talk to you and even make another video with this guy if you want to see his face.
It was so great to be reintroduced to you guys.
Proper way this time, you know?
Thank you guys so much for supporting Haley. Honestly, she's done so much great things on this YouTube, and we're just so like, I guess,
grateful.
We're so grateful at the fact that, you know, we've even reached 30,000 subscribers and growing, which is crazy. It's a really, really big blessing. So thank you guys so much for watching. We love you, and we'll see you next time in the next one. Okay, you ready?
Okay.
We'll see you in the next one. Blue.